sabati ya sub-county hapa Vihiga County. La kwanza langu, muniruhusu nilete rambirambi za our regional coordinator ambaye angependa kuwa na nasi hapa, haja kwa sababu ya shughuli zingine hangeweza kufika. La pili, pia county commissioner wetu angekuwa na sisi hapa, lakini yako shughuli nyingine. Kwa hivyo pamoja na rambirambi zangu ambaye ningependa kupeana kwa niaba ya the Ngao fraternity, the chiefs, assistant chiefs, and all the security team who are here with us. Ningependa kukaribisha waombolezaji wote, wabunge wetu, samahani, tuko wengi, wale ambao wametoka sehemu mbalimbali ya nchi yetu ya Kenya, na pia tuko na MCS wetu wengi. Samahani, leo hatungeweza kutaja wote, lakini nataka kushukuru kwa wale wote ambao wamepata nafasi ya kufika hapa. Nitakuwa kwa machache sana. I want to welcome you to the most peaceful village, the most peaceful sub-location, the most peaceful location, and indeed the most peaceful Vihiga, county of Vihiga, led by Mheshimiwa Governor. We have made security arrangements for your peaceful stay here. We've worked very closely with the family. Tumekuwa kwa vikao mingi, na leo maombolezi ya leo ni ya kipekee. Kwa hivyo tunaomba msamaha kwa sababu mzee Lulu vile anaendesha program. Jambo ambalo inatuongoza ni kwamba tunataka kupeana heshima ya kipekee kwa mjane ambaye ametupatia yale ambayo angependa, vile tungependa to run program. So this is going to be a very strict program, very brief, very precise. So we request that all of you bear with us. In case I said we have made security arrangements for your well stay here, but because we are a large number of people, just in case you experience any security challenge, please, I'll give my number so that you can call me. Before I do that, allow me very quickly, the chiefs, tafadhali, kujeni kidogo. The chiefs just come very briefly. While they are coming, my number is 0723 151 265. And I have to say my name, Josiah Odongo. That's my name. We have the Wodanga team. Most of them are outside here. Phineas Imbudi is coordinating the rest of the Wodanga team. And Madam is there. The rest, and the host, Assistant Chief Vokoli. Please salute. Thank you. In the interest of time, allow me, as I finish, to wish the family all the best as they go through this difficult time. Let us all join them in prayer. And I'm happy because they seem so much composed. And we are celebrating the great man who is lying here. And I want us to celebrate this great woman who is seated here because she's still alive. All the things that we have said about our hero is because of the kind of a mother she was to that family. So may God bless you. May God rest his soul in eternal peace. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, our Deputy County Commissioner. May God bless you so much. Allow me to welcome our MC of this area. I'm giving you 30 minutes. Mheshimiwa Aziaya, karibu sana. Karibu sana.
I wanted him to clarify the political wing, not myself. Familia ya Daktari Henry Chakava, mama na watoto, na familia yote kwa jumla, His Excellency Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, and a personal friend to Daktari, Governor wetu wa county hii ya Vihiga, area MP wetu, Senator, Woman Representative, former MP wetu, Rafiki Amos wako, na all dignitaries present. I want to salute you. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Mkono inaweza chokea chini. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Praise the Lord. Before I recognize my colleagues, I want to say one word about Henry. I was elected as an MCA in the year 2013 at a very young age. And then I got a notification that when you are an MCA, you are an ex-official member to school boards. So my first board meeting, I came to Moiga's Vokoli here. And Henry was also a board member. After the board meeting, we were to go for lunch. And you know, when I was growing up, I was taught, when you want to eat, you leave elders to wash hands first, before you can wash your hands. But I was shocked when I was turning back so that all those people who were in the board meeting, because I was the youngest, I can wash my hands last. Daktari told me, no, sasa unajua wewe, you have been elevated to be an elder. Can you wash your hands? From that day, he became a personal friend. And then we have been coordinating with a lot of things. The last time we were together with Mama and himself, he was coordinating a fundraising for Joram Chakava Friends Church. A church he was constructing after willingly donating land. We have so many people who are yearning to grab land, but Dr. Chakava willingly donated land. A big heart, a heart that was grateful to God. And I want to, because when they were saying about the church, most of us were not here. The church, maybe you can project the picture of the building. He had done some work that was to its remaining roofing and completion. And I would wish all of us who are here, if we mean that Chakava has left a legacy, we can join hands to complete that church in honor of Dr. Henry Chakava. So that is the building, and it is sitting in the land that he donated himself. And I want to appreciate Mama because, you know, most of the times when a man wants to donate land, a woman can say, no, let us sell this land to do other things. But Mama did not object. He allowed Dr. Chakava to donate that land. Mama, thank you for being a good wife to Daktari and for allowing him to give service to the society. Lastly, I want to appreciate everybody who has come wide to come and celebrate Dr. Chakava because he is a true hero in his own making. A lot of politicians think, wanasiasa wengi huwa tunafikiria tukilima barabara, tukijenga daraja, we are leaving a legacy. But Dr. Chakava has touched so many lives, and that is a living legacy to all humankind. That's a legacy that can only be imitated, but nobody, half of us here cannot emulate that. So we want to appreciate and we want to say thank you for the family. You know, yesterday in the service, all the extended family members were talking about how Henry Chakava took care of them after their fathers died. That's a legacy that is lifetime. So we want to appreciate Honorable Dr. Chakava for the good work he has done to this community. I have my colleagues here. You will bear with me because you are a big number and I would wish to recognize you. Those members who are serving as councillors and MCS, those who were serving before, the former councillors and MCS, be upstanding. Former councillors and MCS, be upstanding. There is none. The serving, yeah? Okay. Yeah, Mama Beatrice is a former councillor. I took over from her, and we are good friends. I saw Honorable Chogo, but I think he's left. Those serving members of County Assembly from Vihiga, can you be upstanding? Members of County Assembly from Vihiga, that is Honorable Vena Kaisha, Honorable Fela Jega, Honorable Rita Atieno, and Honorable Gertrude Lumire. We have honorable members, MCAs from Kakamega County, and I would wish Honorable Ndakwa you come and, because I might recognize somebody wrongly. So those members from Kakamega, can you be upstanding? And Nandi, if they are there. Honorable members. Honorable Ndakwa, my counterpart, you will do that recognition for me.
We have Honorable Commissioner Kosi, MCA representing Shinoi. We have Mheshimiwa Doris Matere, Deputy Leader of Minority. We have Mama Uzela, ANC. We have Mheshimiwa Niva Olichiri, MCA nominated ANC. He's also our Secretary General of Kakamega ANC Party. We have Trufena Asembo, nominated ANC. Mine is to say pole. When Kiari was here trying to say publishers to stand up, I was almost like standing up, but I thought my time will come maybe to stand, because I didn't know when to stand in politicians or maybe as a publisher. When you say a legacy, I'm part of the legacy the old man left. I'm a publisher by profession, as a student of information science. Daktari Chakava is the one who advised me to take an option of publishing. So I'm also here as a publisher, but a young one. Mheshimiwa Barak Muluka is here. Makozi is there. Edika Lukaria and Lijoti are there, who know very well my history with the Daktari. So for me, is to wish the family strength at this time of mourning, and saying, as you mourn, we are with you. But also, where I stand in the shoes of politics, I'll have one statement. Mine is to the Luya nation. This one should be taken seriously. Leadership is nurtured, leadership is protected, and leadership is nurtured, respected, and protected. When we have our own who is leading us, let us give him the humble time that can lead us to success. Right now, when you see how the government is, the wind is blowing. Right now, Our Excellency Mudavadi is shuttling around for Raila Amolo Odinga to attain the seat in the AU. That is to mean there's no enmity in politics. What I mean is, you as Mrempe nation, the laws are coming in the government. Wanataka kukaa na His Excellency Samoei Ruto wafanye kazi. Na sisi Waluya tuko kwa serikali sahi, na pato tunalumbana, na pato tunayumba. We are not recognizing our own who are in the government. We are waiting when Raila will come and sit with Ruto on the table. Sisi tuanze kustruggle kwa hiyo serikali. What I mean is, let us tushikane mkono. Our destiny is within our hands. Our bond and our association, the strength starts with us who are supporting those who are ahead. Musalia Mudavadi might not be the best, but it's the one we have in government, and it will take us so much time again to nurture somebody like Musalia Mudavadi to lead the Nuya nation. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Leader of Minority from Kakamega. You know me, I graduated. I'm now the Leader of Majority in Vihiga County. So I left you with the minorities. We have our friends from this county. I would wish all of you to speak, but I want to recognize you. Those politicians wenye walikuwa wamejaribu kusimama kiti, bahati ya Mungu haikuangukia. Simameni, I want to recognize you because of time, please. We have Honorable Swadi, alisimama kiti ya senator. We have Babirandeda, alisimama kiti ya senator. We have Arafat, alisimama kiti ya member of parliament. We recognize CEC members from the county government, the upstanding, and chief officers, if we have any. That is CEC member Nunani, public service and administration. CEC member Agesa Ruth, education. CEC member Professor Iravo, that is transport and infrastructure. and he has worked with us very well in the family committee. I take this juncture to welcome, before I welcome the area member of parliament, nilikuwa nataka niwaambie tafadhali, hapa ni mahali pa heshima. Sisi huwa tunapenda kukaribisha wageni, hatupendi kupigia kelele. Tunataka ku release pressure kuanzia pale ndani. I want to welcome all of you to this ward. It's a peaceful ward. Bwana Amos wako, I want to appreciate, one day I bumped into you at the airport and you bought me tea. It means you had emulated Dr. Chakava. So I would wish us to be peaceful, because we are sending off not a politician, but a person who assisted writers to get freedom of writing whatever they wish to write. So at this juncture, I want to welcome the area member of parliament, Mheshimiwa Clement Sloya. My name is Atia Vincent, the area MCA.
The Prime Cabinet Secretary, who is also doubling as the CS, the Barack Muluka, former MP Sabatia, who I took over from Honorable Alfred Agoi, all the other politicians who are present. I can see George Aladwa, Caleb Amisi, Deputy Governor wetu wa Vihiga, Kitiezo Wilberforce, CEC members, na kanisa letu tukufu la Friends, na waombolezaji wote. Hamjambo? Mgenge kwa mkono. Mirembe. Bwana asifiwe. Bas, leo tumekuja hapa kusindikisha rafiki yetu ambaye amekuwa baba yetu, our mentor, Dr. Henry Chakava. Huyu amekuwa rafiki wetu kabisa na amekuwa muungwana hapa ndani ya Sabati. He is one of the professionals that we will miss greatly in this great constituency of ours. I know the whole nation will miss Henry Chakava, the whole of East Africa will miss Chakava, and the whole of the African nations will also miss Chakava. We've been going through the tributes that have been poured to the family and to us at the leadership of this area, and I could see tributes from South Africa, from Tanzania, from Togo, from Malawi, and all the other African nations. This was a great publisher, this was an editor, and this was an employer. You've seen the great team from the East African Educational Publishers. You are great people. Mimi nataka kuvulia kofia East African Educational Publishers, because you've done us proud. You've held our father, our man, with great respect, and you've treated him very well. And I can see the whole team from the East African Educational Publishers has come to Sabatia to say goodbye to this great man. Mimi nawavulia kofia, and on behalf of the great people of Sabatia, I want to say thank you to everybody, and to Mama Rose, the widow who's been left behind. We are here. We are your sons. I could read you only have daughters, and me as the member of parliament for Sabatia, I want you to also put me in your family to be your son, so that we can walk this journey together, so that we can see the work that Chakava started is completed as a family. There has been a request from the East African Educational Publishers that if we can come up with a Henry Chakava Memorial Library, and this, maybe the governor is here. We have our members of county assembly who are here. We have our members of parliament who are here. I'm the member of parliament for Sabatia. We have Honorable Kagesi, who is the member of parliament for Vihiga. We have Senator Osotsi here. I think under the leadership of the able Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, we can come up with something. We only need land, and then we sit down and ask ourselves, how do we get the resources to put up this memorial library? Because the resources are already available from the East African Educational Publishers, and I know other partners will come in so that we can equip this memorial library for it to be something that we can use to remember Henry Chakava. Sitaki kwenda kwa maneno mengi. We have so many members of parliament who are here with us today, and I want to take the shortest time possible to welcome you, and we will begin by, mnajua siasa ni ngumu, si ndio? So watu wako hapa wengi, na vile mmesikia kanisa imesema saa 8 kamili lazima mwili wa mzee uwe unaingia. Najua we are past that time, lakini we can manage ourselves very well so that we don't go into much of the politics. We are only paying respect to the departed colleague of ours. So Mheshimiwa Caleb Amisi, tafadhali. Caleb Amisi tunakaa na yeye bungeni, and is the member of parliament for Saboti constituency, na amekuwa mwanafunzi Sabatia Primary School.
Asante. Haya, Bwana asifiwe. Nisalimie kwa hewa, Bwana asifiwe. Asante sana familia ya marehemu Henry Chakava, kanisa takatifu, Friends Church ambao nimelelewa, viongozi wote na wananchi wote wa Sabatia, Vokoli, Vihiga kwa jumla. Milembe. Milembe mno. Mbe moyo. Nobe moyo njeriza kukorore. Asante. Asante. Mimi naitwa Caleb Amisi, mbunge wa Saboti Trans Nzoia kule Kitale. Na nimekuja hapa, mimi sio mgeni. My umbilical cord was buried in this village. Kutoanzia hapa, ukiteremuka hapa, nitakuchukua dakika 2 umefika mahali nilizaliwa. Na umesikia jina inaitwa Wodanga location. Odanga was my great grandfather and he was the paramount chief of this area. Sasa hapa nikikaa niko nyumbani. Mmenikaribisha? Na nimelelewa hapa, nimesomea Sabatia, and I was the best boy in Western region. I went to Starehe Boys na relocate to Kitale. Na nikikuwa hapa nimekuja kama a neighbor of Henry Chakava. Number 2, nimekuja kama the MP for Henry Chakava from Kitale. Na pia I've come here because we are burying an elder of Mulembe nation. We are burying a hero, an enigma, a prolific, meticulous literature publisher, a bastion of democracy in this republic. Kama umesikia kizungu sema amen. Ndio maana niko hapa. Na watu wa Saboti, watu wa Kitale, watu wa Trans Nzoia wamenituma na sala zao za rambirambi. Wamesema ukifika Vokoli, give our condolence on the behalf of our hero, behalf of the people of Saboti. Na Henry Chakava niko na historia na yeye. Wakati nilitaka kupigania kiti cha Saboti, mimi nimezaliwa hapa na nikaenda kule Kitale. The people who live in Kitale will tell you it is not easy for a Maragoli to be a member of parliament in Trans Nzoia. Nilikaa na Henry Chakava nikamwambia I want to be an MP. Na akaniambia Caleb, you are wasting your time. Hapa hata watu wamejaribu hawajaweza. Na nikamwambia katika Biblia tuko na watu ambao walienda kukomboa wana wa Israeli. Musa alituma wale wanaitwa wapelelezi, the spies of the Israel, the 20 tribes. Na mmoja wao alikuwa anaitwa Caleb from the tribe of Judah, ambapo Christ was also from the tribe of Judah. Na ule Caleb alienda na mapelelezi 12, wote waliogopa. Lakini Caleb ndiye alikuwa jasiri. Akawaambia hata kama wako na miraba minne, hata kama ni wazito, tutawashinda. Na kule Canaan tuko na maziwa, tuko na asali, tuko na vitu tamu. Caleb ndiye alikuwa jasiri katika Biblia. Ule Caleb wa Biblia ndo huyu anaongea sasa hivi. Na wakati Henry Chakava alinisikiza, nikamwambia sasa, mzee, wewe nipe tu mkono yako na uniongezee support, nitachukua hiyo kiti. Akaniambia sitakupea pesa hata kidogo. Wewe enda, chukua loan, ukimaliza election nitalipa hiyo loan. I'll know you are serious. Wakati nilishinda, I came back to mzee Chakava. Nikamwambia sumeona, sasa loan lipa, niko na madeni mingi. Akaniambia sitalipa, I wanted you to be man enough. And that's why I became the Lion of Saboti. Na saa hii ukikaa hapa, wale wako hapa mko na mashemeji, mko na mandugu kule Kitale. Wapigie simu waulize how is Caleb. Watakuambia basari amepeana, kila mtu anapata basari bila mapendeleo. Watakuambia mashule nimejenga katika historia tangu kuzaliwa kwa ulimwengu, hawajaiona maendeleo. Hiyo ndio Canaan nilipeleka hao watu. Leo nimechelewa kwa sababu nilipata msaada ya wahisani kutoka India ya pikipiki. Nimekuwa nikipea vijana kule Saboti. Ndio maana nimechelewa. Hapa Vihiga, Vokoli, hii matunda natoa mbali, natoa kwa serikali. Mnataka pia niwaletee? Niwaletee pia hiyo matunda? Wangapi wataka matunda ya Canaan tuone kwa mkono? Mmekubali niwaletee matunda ya Canaan? Niwaletee? Asante sana. Huyu MP ako hapa ni rafiki yangu mkubwa. Tuko yeye na mimi tuko kamati moja. Inaitwa the Committee of Defense and Foreign Relations. He's my good friend. I work with him, I mentor him where I can. Nataka mmupe support awaletee maendeleo. Mimi nikipata nitakuwa namuitia kidogo. Sawa sawa? Ili watu wetu wapone. Tuko pamoja. Hapa Ronda amena ya kuimba kurimbo wakati tulikuwa na inzara Savallara. Muamana Savallara. Kuimba mama mbezi mbende nzikumiza, mama mbezi mbende nzikumiza, kirabura kitezo ngano inzara ya kwita, noro likanyama usheza ngano gonga, nzikumiza. Asanteni, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you. Asante sana Bwana Caleb Amisi. Tunaelekea, nataka nimtambue Mheshimiwa Yusuf Chanzu, the former MP for Vihiga constituency. Ameomba yeye atambulishwe tu, hataongea leo. Nataka nimtambue pia former MP wetu wa Sabatia constituency, ambaye pia ni nominee wa Chief Administrative Secretary wa Ministry of Defense. Akuje atusalimie kidogo tafadhali.
Asante Mheshimiwa Lawyer. Family ya Chakava, my elder, my advisor, my mentor. Kanisa letu la Friends, our political leaders led by Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Secretary for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs, our Governor, our MPs, Mheshimiwa Mboko, Mheshimiwa Adagara, Mheshimiwa Ladwa, Mheshimiwa Sabot Hamis, Mheshimiwa Kagesi, our Senator Osozi, Senator wako Osozi, Senator wako Emeritus, viongozi wote walifika, abashomi wosi, murembe kandi, mwanza Yesu, kupiki kumkono, Bwana Yesu asifiwe, Bwana Yesu asifiwe, asante. Nataka kusema pole kwa kupoteza our hero, Dr. Henry Chakava. I'm saddened. Dr. Chakava was my close advisor and a mentor. Dr. Chakava has done a lot for the country, has done a lot for Africa, has done a lot for the world. But for me here, he helped me a lot when I was an MP for Sabatia in the management of the constituency. When I became the MP in 2013, one of the handover papers I was given by the Prime Cabinet Secretary, who was outgoing MP, was to continue the dream of Vihiga University. And when I took over, I talked to Dr. Chakava, who had the institutional memory of the struggle to get a university, to be the chairman, and he became the chairman of the Dream Team. And I've seen some of the Dream Team members here. Kindly, if you can just stand up so that we can mention. I've seen Professor Ayiro, who is a member of the Dream Team. I've seen Ambassador Mbaya, who is a member of the Dream Team. I've seen Professor Enavo, who is a member of the Dream Team. Professor? Yeah, just stand up. Who else is around? We have many others who are members of the Changilwa, Professor Kemoli. They were those members of the Dream Team, and he was the chair. He worked very hard. We had many meetings. Even when he was sick, he was chairing those meetings, and anytime he would not be available, I would have the meetings done, and I would go to the house to brief him, and Mama Casalina will make me a cup of tea as I brief him, and we have not reached the end. That Dream Team is still alive. Vihiga University of Health Sciences is at the tail end. The only requirement we have is we need to get the title deeds of the land that is supposed to be given to Vihiga University, and we get the approval. So we still have an assignment that Dr. Chakava has left, which we need to have to move and deliver, because that was part of his dream. The other thing that I want to talk about is what Basanji said. Dr. Chakava was forthright, was straightforward. And one of the things he did when we were campaigning, he called me and he told me, tell my brother, Mudavadi, tell him that he is misleading us in the wrong direction. And I told him, Mudavadi has always said, Maragolis and the Western people want to be in the government. And he has done his calculation, and he knows and he's sure that where he's taking us is where the government will be. He said, no, that journey I will not go with you. That is how forthright Dr. Chakava was. We have reached there, we have seen what happened. People were wrong, Mudavadi was right. So at that point, I want to say that we have now reached a stage, the government is in place, we have our leaders. My request to those who are elected, because you are the people who are being listened to by the members and the tribes and everybody who is supposed to make a decision based on what you are listening. Please don't abuse each other. Embrace peace. I know if you have a message to send to Prime Cabinet Secretary, I know if you call his office, he will welcome you and you tell him what you want. We really don't want to see any fighting of leaders. We don't see any abuses of leaders abusing each other, because the time now we have is to serve the people of Kenya. The last point I want to say is people of Kenya are now planning for the future. We know for sure we have a president in place, we have a government in place. We know 2027 there will be an election. But we are saying we are planning for 2032. And we are saying if the Mlembe nation need to have an impact, need to have a president in 2032, they must come together to one person and go in one direction during the elections of 2027 and put all the ballots in one box. If we do that, 2032 will be assured of presidency and we'll be happy. Mungu awabariki wote.
Mheshimiwa George Alado, tafadhali.
Asante sana mjumbe wa hapa, kanisa letu la marafiki, kiongozi wetu mkuu Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, gavana wa jimbo la Vihiga, na waombolezaji wote mrembe bosi. Bwana asifiwe. Yangu itakuwa machache kwa sababu tunakuja kuomboleza mzee ambaye tumemhenzi miaka mingi, Dr. Henry Chakava, na watu wote wa Odanga na Wachavakali na Vihiga na Kenya na jumla ulimwengu. Tulikuwa Nairobi, tulizungumza mengi katika ibada. Leo tumekuja tu kumpeleka mahali pema peponi. Na nataka kuchukua nafasi hii kushukuru kwa wale mmekuja kumzindikisha mzee daktari kwa ile kazi amefanya. Nikimalizia, mimi naitwa Mheshimiwa Alado, ni mjumbe wa Makadara Nairobi. Na nataka tu kuambia Mheshimiwa wetu Musalia Mudavadi, wewe ni kiongozi wetu. Tunakupenda, tunakuheshimu. Anza kuita watu wako, anza kutuita, tuanze kupanga mipango yetu. Kwa sababu muda pia inakimbia na ni muhimu watu wetu waanze kupangwa. Ni vibaya kuanza kutukanana, kuanza kupigana mwana Trans Nzoia vile kuko. Hatungependa hizo siasa ziingie katika Kenya. So wewe uko katika cheo kubwa katika taifa la Kenya. Sisi tulikuwa katika upinzani. Nataka tukuchukua nafasi kukushukuru kwa kukubali kusupport kiongozi wetu Raila Amolo Odinga kwenda kwa chairperson wa AU. Hiyo ni pongezi sana kwako. Hiyo muonesha kama ndugu, hiyo ni heshima kubwa umepeana kwa taifa la Kenya. Na sisi tunakuangalia, hatuna shida na wewe, vile utataka katika Kenya, tutakusupport. Hatuna problem na wewe. Sisi tunataka ukue na nguvu na ujitokeze. Utuambie sisi tuko hapa na utupeleke mbele. Uoga itatutenganisha. Wewe sukuma hii gurudumu, wewe ndio cabinet secretary, hakuna mwingine. Na tunajua uko hapo namba 3. So kama wewe ndio namba 3, sisi tuko huko nyuma. Tusukume hiyo namba 3 ende namba 1. Kwa hivyo wewe ni vile utapanga namba 1, hiyo ni yako. Kwa sisi wa Maragoli, wa hapa Vihiga tujipange. Na jamii zingine zote tushikane. Jamii Vihiga ni Wanyore, wa Maragoli na Watiriki na wakabila zingine. Tayari Truo Tichilo wamekuwa gavana Wanyore, pia wa Maragoli 2027. Mungu awabariki.
Bas, watu wanatoa moto kwa roho, si ndio? Mheshimiwa Kagesi, MP Vihiga, na wewe toa moto kabisa.
Asante sana Sloya. Familia ya Dr. Chakava yote, kanisa letu la Friends na viongozi wote ambao wako hapa tukiongozwa na Umwami Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi na gavana wetu Tichilo. Nasema mirembe. Vile mmeambiwa, mimi ninaitwa Kagesi Kivai, mimi ni mbunge wa Vihiga, jirani wenu hapa. Na nimekuja hapa kutoa tu rambirambi zangu kwa huyu jamaa. Na nimekuja hapa also as a relative. Mimi ni shemeji hapa my sister, I don't know whether she's here. Oh, Gladys. Gladys is married into this family. The husband was sharing the name with Chakava, Richard Milinzi Luseno. Huyu ananifuata kwa mgongo. So niko hapa kwa vika vile. Mimi nilinasema hivi. Huyu jamaa nilikutana naye in the 70s. Nikiwa University of Nairobi. Vile mmeambiwa hapa, huyu jamaa had a passion for anything Maragoli. So he was kina nani wanafunzi wako kwa University of Nairobi at that time. And he called us. Akatuita hapo somewhere in Ngong Road. From there tukaanza ushirika na yeye. Very close relationship. Obviously that bond grew bigger after she joined the family. Tukawa karibu sana. So I've lost a relative and I've lost a good friend. The legacy, I said this somewhere in Nairobi. I remember when he was meeting us regularly in the University of Nairobi. Tulikuwa nakuja na mbio, sisi ndio wasomi, sisi ndio tunajua. But one day aliniita. Akaniambia mune mmanyike. Nuwingira habundu ziagaraha. So that has shaped my life. It has been part of my life to be humble and to serve others. So leo nimekuja tu kusema pole and kwaheri kwa good friend of mine na tumuomboleze vizuri. Asanteni.
Asante. Mheshimiwa Woman Rep wetu wa Vihiga County, Mama Beatrice Adagala.
Bwana Yesu na asifiwe. Hai kweka men. USFW. Kokole kundu mkono Daktari Chakava tumwambie kwa heri. We have lost a great boy of Odanga, Sabatia, Vihiga constituency. Vihiga County, I mean. Kenya has lost a great man. And Africa has lost. They have written there, a father of Africa's literary publishing. We've lost a great man. It is through this great man, yes, Juzi, when we were in Friends International, I saw somebody who was behind Bogi Bender because of him. We've lost him. Mama Rosalinda and children, Jehovah God, He's in charge. He will take care of you. And know you're praying, you're prayerful, you'll pray, the home of Chakava will flourish. And the Bible says, mwenye anajengea Mungu, Mungu mwenyewe takes charge. And the Chakava has done that. We were in the Friends Church contributing for Jotham Chakava Friends Church. And penye mefika, hatutawacha hiyo mambo, tutaendelea nayo. All the leaders, tuendelee, tuone hiyo kanisa imejengwa. Mimi kama mama wa hii county, Vihiga is peaceful. Very good. This is the canon that we are in now. We have our other sons and daughters, hawajasemwa. We have Justice Eboso there with the wife. Clap for them. We have Captain Alovale with the wife. Clap for them. These are sons and daughters of this land. We have so many of them. But hatutawasema nyinyi wote. We know you are with the Chakava family. You've come to condole with the Roseland. And our good God will reward all of us. Chakava died because of liver problem. And His Excellency PCS, Governor, Senator, all MPs. I know the country, we have problems with the doctors. I'm just appealing upon the doctors. Kindly go back to the negotiating table. Negotiate. Wakenya, we want to be healthy. Malumbano ikiendelea kukua, we shall have a sick nation. And especially right now, there is a lot of homa, there's a lot of dust. And I think our people, let us maintain that's what we were doing sometimes back, washing our hands and even putting on masks. Homa iko kali, na mimi naomba madaktari, tafadhali. mrudi kwa negotiating table, solution will be found. I know PCS when seated with the president, everything is possible. Sina mna hivyo watu wetu. Na mwisho, niliona hapa DG kutoka Kisumu. DG, I remember when you were in Seme, during the campaigns, I came there with 5 branded Kenya Kwanza ANC vehicles. During the funeral of Professor Nyabundi's wife, the Vice Chancellor of Maseno. I remember we met there, I came with Jeshi kutoka Vihiga, because the fallen kutoka Vihiga, because the fallen was a girl from Maseno, from Kima here, Omhano Mungereza. Nikakuja na Jeshi ya Vihiga. So when they started talking, I think the DG got annoyed. Why are we come to the Azimio region na Kenya Kwanza narrative? I told him, please, know His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, William Samoei Ruto are Raila's sons. And the sons will not let the father suffer. And you can see, have they let Raila suffer? So you can see they have gone to look for him a job. Bwana PCS, congratulations. Continue traversing nations. You ensure baba apate kitu, na baba akipata kitu, na sisi tuendelee, tumalizane na Ruto 2027, Musalia Mudavadi achukue. Ama namna gani? Mnataka uongozi? Sisi hatutakubali makelele mingi, hatutakubali noise. Vihiga people are peaceful as a dagala. Asanteni sana.
Thank you. We also want to recognize the presence of representative from the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, Dr. Andika. Mahali yuko Dr. Andika ako pale chini. Asanteni sana. Pia tuna recognize uwepo wa youth leader kule Kisumu, Cedric Otieno. Kama uko hapa unaweza, ndio huyu hapa. And then mwisho, Mheshimiwa Omboko Milemba. Tafadhali.
Thank you very much. Asante sana Bwana Siloya. To the family of the late Chakava and the family as a whole. Na watu wa hapa Vokoli. Mlembe handi. Inze nimbe hano nzizi kubora pole. Ku family ya Chakavas nende abalogoli be Vokoli. I am a product of this place. Ndali hano miiga the 1990 all the way up to 2003. So those who are over 15 years, or they're about 15 years. And I grew up in the hands of these elders, Henry Chakava included. When I was a teacher at Moi Girls Vokoli, Henry Chakava was also a board member of the school. And there was another old man called Luceno, who was also a board member. And that team had been put in place by the now current Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Mudavadi, who was building and expanding this school to become what it is. And therefore, I learned a lot from Henry when they would come to attend board meetings. And I would take this opportunity to ask all those who are on board of management in this country to take their jobs very seriously. Because when Henry would come and those other leaders, they would make us feel different and actually make the school to move from whatever position it was until now Moi Girls Vokoli is a big school. I can see the girls are there. They may not remember this, but this is one of the founders of Moi Girls Vokoli. This field where we are seated, if you look at the back there, you can see the goal. There's a football goal there. And at the back, where my back is, there's another football goal. It's me who placed those goals there when I was a teacher here. So I'm a real product of this community. And there were many other fields here. We put them aside so as to create the field. And I'm so grateful of this community. So as I come here to condole, mine is to say pole to the family and this community. I owe you greatly because you made me. I'm now a member of parliament in Emuhaya. I'm now the Secretary General of ANC Party. I'm now in the Speaker's panel in Bunge, and I also sit in the House Business Committee, courtesy of the fatherly growth I was given by Henry Chakava, Mudavadi, who is now the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and others. So for me, is to bring the condolences of all the teachers of Kenya and of all the people of Emuhaya as we send off Henry Chakava. Two, and lastly, we work with your honorable member. Bwana Siloya is a great guy and is doing a great job in Parliament, together with all the other members of Parliament. He's a guy you need to support. Now in Parliament, together with all the other members of Parliament. He's a guy you need to support. Now we are growing in Parliament because we were given another chance. This is a young man whom you need to support, the people of Sabatia, so that he grows through the line. I had the advantage of seeing Prime Cabinet Secretary get to Parliament when I was a teacher. And growth takes time, and it takes a push by the people. So then, when we are up there, mimi ni mtu wa Kenya Kwanza, mtu wa ANC, mtu wa serikali iliyoko. Na mimi husema hivyo bila kuangalia chini. Na mimi ndio kinara wa ANC kwa saa hizi. Na mimi nawaambieni wa Maragoli, abarogoli mbeho, abakere mbula, inzi kulindora serikali yabugurwa kare no mwami Ruto. Na mbabola kandi 2027 abeho mundu nyala kutuliza Ruto dabe. Kanolo mundu nakubaliyoga hapa na pale ni kufanya warm up tu, nitali kutuliza msaza ula is not possible. Na ni mwenye kuba strategic. Hata sisi Bunyore tunakuwa strategic. Hapa ndio mahali tuingie. Tukae na Prime Cabinet Secretary katika hiyo serikali. Omnyaura na anywe kezizi zindi 5 na amara akumbole ndi sasa kulekere egasi yobu president. Tutaenda mbele. Lakini saa tukianza kungangana na mambo mingi hatutaenda mbele. Kwa hivyo simameni na Prime Cabinet Secretary, simama na Kenya Kwanza, na hiyo mahali ndio tunaenda. Prime Cabinet Secretary, thank you for what you are doing in Ethiopia. And make sure that we win the war of making sure that Raila Amolo Odinga is the chairman of the commission. That will be great honor to you and our people. So therefore, as I conclude, let me say that let's come together as a team, put us together, and let's move as a team within government to progress. Finally, there is 2 issues which I know when you meet the president you will address. Number one, when you talked to the teachers last year, you promised that all the teachers who were interns, and there are 26,000, would be employed on permanent and pensionable position by the end of this financial year. I want to thank you because I've seen in the budget that money is there. So those teachers will now be fully employed as permanent and pensionable. But there's an area which, Prime Cabinet Secretary, you need to push this to the President for us. The promotion of teachers. The promotion of teachers was not done well. And therefore, we need more money for promotion of teachers. Abigizibetu was stagnated for the longest time. When you are talking to the President, please ask that he had promised us some monies, 2.2 billion for the promotion of teachers. That should be able to do us fine. As for the doctor strike, sit down with the doctors. I'm also a veteran trade unionist. Invite other people, and I'm asking the doctors to still negotiate, because in the union, the only survival tactic is the tripartite, and the tripartite is negotiation between the employer and yourself. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. We have Justice Eboso. I know you had been recognized. I just want you to stand up with your wife, kindly. This is one of the people who are shaping this Kenya of ours, and the Prime Cabinet Secretary is here. Together with you and us, we know we are going to move very far. Before I bring Emeritus Senator for Busia, Amos Wako, I also want to recognize the presence of the principal of Vokoli Girls, who has been instrumental in the arrangements and planning of this funeral. She has agreed to give us a venue when she knows very well learning is going on in this school. So this is a great honor to the Chakava family. It is a great honor to the Prime Cabinet Secretary and to all the leaders who are here, to Vokoli girls, where you are, and your principal and the teachers. Thank you very much. We now welcome Attorney General Emeritus, Senator for Busia, the Honorable, I've been guided. Thank you very much. Now we have our Deputy Governor. We have Deputy Governor for Kisumu, Deputy Governor for Vihiga. I think it is now in order for me to invite the Deputy Governor for Vihiga so that you show us the guest from Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Asante. The Friends Quakers, together with Mama Rosalind, Your Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Your Excellency, the Governor, my counterpart from Kisumu County, viongozi wenzangu, ndugu, waombolezaji wote, hamjambo. Mirembe Komunyi, Quakers High. Nimekuja kujumuika pamoja kwa sababu ya heshima za mwisho za the hero Dr. Henry Chakava. Nasema pole kwa familia, mama na jamii. I got to know the late Dr. Henry Chakava through one of his closest friends, lakini ambaye aliaga mbele yake, the late Gaylord Avedi. Na mara mingi tulikutana tukiwa na nikiongozwa na the late Gaylord Avedi. And I want to buy into what the Member of Parliament for Vihiga ameomboleza, this great gentleman, ya kwamba ile wakati tulikuwa na yeye, vile vile hata mimi alinihimiza akaniambia, noge ndigara hakuna nguvu iroke, ukienda pole pole ndio utaweza kufika mbali. So I'm one of the person mwenye aliweza kuona ya kwamba anipatie vile vile ushawishi huo. So tumepoteza Your Excellency the Governor and Your Excellency the Prime Cabinet Secretary. Vihiga imepoteza pakubwa, but we are mourning because we've lost a hero for the world, not only for this Vihiga. Ni jukumu letu tuweze kujifunza kutoka kwake, tutachangia vizuri tukiendelea mbele kwa msingi ule ambao tumejifunza kwake. So asante sana, Mwenyezi Mungu ailaze roho yake mahali pema. Mimi ni Deputy Governor Wilberforce Kitiezo. Nafikiria yule mbunge wa Saboti alikuwa anaimba hiyo wimbo ya Kitiezo. Mimi ndio Deputy Governor ya hapa. So sitakuwa na mengi zaidi ya hapo. Mwenyezi Mungu awabariki sana. Kwa utaratibu, the Deputy Governor Kisumu County ametembea na ujumbe wa governor wetu wa Kisumu, na kwa hivyo atapata kualikwa na governor wetu mpendwa. Asanteni sana.
Asante. Mwisho nataka kumkaribisha senator wetu, na kabla sijamkaribisha nataka kuwakumbusha mimi ndio area MP for Sabatia constituency. And like many other people have said where they come from, I come from Sabatia constituency, and I happen to be the area member of parliament for our Prime Cabinet Secretary, and I'm proud of that. I was elected on a UDA ticket because this is one Kenya and we were all in Kenya Kwanza. So I'm properly placed in Kenya Kwanza. And I want us to hold hands together. We know we have fought Kenya in this Kenya Kwanza. We have ANC, we have UDA, and we have other parties. I want us to hold together and work behind our Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi. He is doing a great job. And one thing that I want to all know, I am a member of the Defense Committee, me together with the MP for Saboti, Caleb Amisi. The Prime Cabinet Secretary is also doubling up as the CS for Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. And we also have our former MP for Sabatia coming up as the CS for Defense. So, mnaona Sabatia vile imebarikiwa. So we need to work together. Irrespective of our political formations, we have to work together so that we assist this son of ours, Musalia Mudavadi. You know, we all hope that one day Musalia Mudavadi will become the president of this great Republic of Kenya. And if we don't join hands, if we don't rally behind him as leaders, then we will not be doing any good to him. He is out there campaigning for our prime cabinet, our former prime minister, Raila Odinga, to become the AU Commission chairperson. We support that. And we want to call upon all the leaders. If President Ruto can come together with our former prime cabinet secretary, and they have been great political rivals, who are we to continue fighting down here? So let us rally behind what our Prime Cabinet Secretary is doing. Let us all support his efforts towards bringing Kenya together so that we can move far. We have the war on illicit brews going on, and it has been taken up by our Deputy President. And we have been called upon as members of Parliament plus the county governments so that we can get rid of illicit brews. We must work together. We must see a collaborative effort between elected leaders and our administration on the ground. So we call upon all our administration, the chiefs, assistant chiefs. I can see our DCC is here and ACCs. Let us put our efforts together and fight this menace called Changa so that we can move together. So we have a suggestion that every home that is brewing Changa or selling Changa, if all goes well, because it is a discussion in the pipeline, we will be manning that home with uniformed police so that you don't sell, nobody comes to buy, and anybody who will be found amekunywa Changa huku nje, atuambie alikunywa wapi. All that said and done, we need a secure country. Vihiga is properly placed, Sabatia is safe. I can confidently report to the Prime Cabinet Secretary that we have enough security officers around. Our chiefs are working round the clock. Our police officers, you can see them here, they are working round the clock. We need to support them. They need facilities, and together with you, we are going to ensure that we are moving in the right direction. Thank you to our MCAs. We are working together. Together with our governor and deputy governor, we need to steer Vihiga to the next heights. Thank you very much, and I call upon the Senator for Vihiga, Godfrey Ososi, to come and make his remarks and invite the governor. Thank you.
The family led by Mama Rosalie. Attorney General Emeritus, honorable members of parliament, the church, na watu wote. Mirembe, hebu tusalamiane kwa hewa. Asante sana. For those who don't know me, my name is Godfrey Osotsi. I am the senator of the great people of Vihiga. Now, I am here to mourn a great son of Vihiga, whom I first encountered in the mid-90s when I was a Form 1 student at Chavakali High School. He came to give us a motivation talk, and that talk has motivated me up to today. And then we had a performance based on the book of Things Fall Apart. And I remember then, after that performance, our teachers asked us to read the book in a record 1 week. And I want to say I am among the students who didn't finish reading in 1 week. And I was beaten thoroughly. Then we used to have caning in school. But that motivation talk has motivated me to date. When I grew up, I then met him. And as Mama has said, that Chakava intermingled with all people. He was an old man. He intermingled with old people. But he also intermingled with the young and middle-aged people. I remember on many occasions, we used to have a social group that is led by George Odanga. I don't know whether George Odanga is here. And we would meet occasionally, and he was the only old man who was in our group. And he would voluntarily buy some of us very expensive drinks. So I knew Mzee, and I met him a few months after my election as a senator of this county. And there is one thing he told me. He told me, Senator, devolution is the best thing that happened to this country. And that you people, you need to protect devolution, make it work for Kenya, and make it work for Vihiga. I stand here, when I look at the front row, I see people who played a big role in making devolution work. Amos Wako was the Attorney General then, who midwifed the 2010 Constitution. Honorable Mudavadi here is one of the fathers of devolution. And I want to say today, as a senator of this county, that we must protect devolution. Whether you are in government or you are in the opposition, we must protect devolution. We are beginning to see signs which are not very good for devolution. As I sit in the Senate, sometimes I get so perturbed to see laws being passed in the Senate which offend devolution. Governor Otichiro is here. He knows the pressures they are going through in terms of disbursement of funds to the counties. So my message today, as I mourn my friend, is that please, wherever you are, protect devolution. The other thing that I have heard many people talk, a lot of things here about development and contribution of Dr. Chakava to our lives. But there is one important thing that we forgot to talk about. That apart from being a very principled personality, Dr. Chakava believed in justice for all. I want you to ponder about that. Because when I look at the family seated there, I see an old man on a wheelchair, seated at the corner there. I have encountered this old man many times. He is called Igunza. This old man has fought battles in parliament, in senate, in government, about the people from this village and elsewhere who are settled there in the forest. Over 35 years, and to date, they don't have titles. The matter came up in BBI, the matter came up in TJRC, but to date, the matter remains unresolved. So my brother, Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary, I know you are doing some effort. We are also doing some effort in Parliament. We want that matter resolved so that those people get their right of owning land. Nimeongea vizuri hapo? Haya, wacha niongee kwa Kiswahili sasa. You know, waheshimiwa hapa wameongea vizuri sana. Siasa mzuri. Na mimi pia ninapenda siasa mzuri. Na pia napenda siasa ya kuambiana ukweli. Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, unajua mimi na wewe tuliguzana kidogo, lakini ilikuwa tu kila mtu anajitafutia. Sasa wewe umepata kiti yako kubwa, mimi nimepata kuwa senator, sasa hatupigani tena. Ama namna gani? Hatupigani. Hata hii kazi ambayo unafanya ya kusaidia baba because being the CS for Foreign Affairs, you are a campaigner number 1 for baba. We as a party, ODM, we are watching you. We are watching your moves. Baba is seeing what you are doing. ODM is seeing what you are doing. You never know 2032. But the members of parliament who have spoken here, I want to advise you one thing. That 2032 ni kazi ngumu is never canvassed in funerals. Go out and work. As Aladwa said, tutoke tufanye ka? Ukiongea kwa matanga, haisaidii. Sisi ODM is a big party, a movement. If we put our weight behind Musalia, he will get it. Lakini pia nyinyi, Bwana Omboko Milemba, you are the SG of the party. Hiyo chama ilinyamaza. Sasa usukume upande wako, na sisi tukiona mkienda vizuri, we will support you. And you know when Osozi supports you, he comes out with all the force to get you to get. So Mheshimiwa Musalia Mudavadi, we appreciate what we are doing. We are ready to work together in 2032, but let us not discuss serious politics of 2032 in funeral. Tukishatoka matanga tunasahau. Tunaenda nyumbani, si ndio? Kwa hivyo sitaenda zaidi ya hiyo. Mimi nimekuja hapa kwa ajili ya ndugu yangu. Ile mambo yote mmeongea ya center ya Chakava is a good idea. Governor, if the county government supports that agenda, as a senator, I will not stand in the way for that agenda, because this man has changed the lives of many people. Issues of the university, Mr. Goy, you have talked about it. I think it is one of the things that Chakava will be happy about if we realize the dream of having this university becoming an institution of higher learning. It is now my turn to welcome the governor of Vihiga, Daktari Williba Otichiro, to also say something. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Asante. Thank you. The widow and family of the late Henry Chakava, our Prime Cabinet Secretary, the leadership who are here, our visitors who have come to condole us, and all the mourners who are here with us. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. I stand before you to convey our sincere condolences to the family of the late Henry Chakava. As a county, we have held Henry Chakava in a very high esteem, and is one of the sons of this soil who has done us proud as a county. And therefore, we are here as a government of Vihiga County to be together with the family and send this great son of this soil to the next destination with a lot of honor and dignity. Personally, I have known Henry Chakava for a long time, and we have been friends. He has been for a long time since when I became the Member of Parliament for Emuhaya in 2007. He was a very good advisor to me on many issues. When I also became the governor of this great county of Vihiga County in 2017, he was also he advised me a lot, particularly when I was having a lot of challenges as a governor in 2017. He was able to counsel me, he was able to advise me, and with his advice, I was able to move forward. And as a result of that, I have been able to perform fairly well in terms of development in this county. And it's for that reason that the people of Vihiga found it necessary to re-elect me as their governor in the second term, which I'm also doing fairly very well. I want to say that as a county, we are quite unique. We are working together as leaders. We are working together, and I've had a chance to convene meetings with all the leadership in this county. And we have agreed as a county that we focus on development. Politics is over. Politics was over in 2022. And now it's time to focus on development. Personally, myself, I have agreed that I will support the government of the day. And therefore, we are working very closely with the government of Kenya Kwanza so that we can be able to realize their manifesto and also the manifesto which we had as a meal, which more or less are the same. I also want to report here that we are working very closely with the Prime Cabinet Secretary, and he has my full support, and I will support him so that on this, in the county, he's able to be on the ground. So I don't want to go into details. Consider to put up a library and documentation center in recognition of this great son. Yes, I agree. All I would need to do is to have the MCA of this ward bring up a motion in the assembly. Once he brings up the motion and is supported and is brought to the executive, I will approve it and will be able to build the center. I would like to take this opportunity to call the Emeritus Attorney General to say something before I call the chair. Okay, he has indicated doesn't want to say anything. My colleague Anyang Nyong is out of the country, and he rang me and told me that they have had a very serious, cordial relationship with Henry Chakava, and he indicated that he must be represented here. And he has sent his deputy governor to come and represent him. So please allow me to take this opportunity to call upon the deputy governor of Kisumu to deliver the statement from Professor Anyang Nyong.
The family of Dr. Henry Chakava, His Excellency, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, the Governor of Vihiga plus your deputy, the leadership of our beloved country here gathered, all Kenyans from all walks of life. Professor Peter Anyang Nyong, just been told, was very close to this family. He is away in the US for work, and he did indicate that he wanted to send the highest level of representation here. So I am here with the County Secretary, Hesbon Hongo. Please stand.
I am here also with the Chief of Staff, Bob Madanji. Please stand, thank you. I am also here with his Chief Officer Communication, who himself was also one time the Standard Bureau Chief in Kisumu, Mr. John Oyua. And so the following is the tribute of Governor Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o to the family. We condole with the family of the late Dr. Henry Miyinzi Chakava, a literary giant of Kenya. Henry was involved in publication and promotion of very high-profile African writers, including Ali Mazrui, Chinua Achebe, Grace Ogot, Marjorie Oludemak-Goy, Meja Mwangi, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Okot Pabitek, Taban Loliyong, and is here today, most welcome, David Rubadiri, Peter Abraham, Cyprian Mekonesi, among many others. Chakava has left an indelible mark in the literature of Africa and in Kenya in particular. The passing on of Chakava on the realm of the ancestors marks the end of an era in history of our country. He has been very pivotal as a formulator, articulator, and a protagonist in his quest. In his life of publishing spanning decades, he has been a valiant and ruthless publisher. He remained to his course throughout Kenya's momentous and historical years. Throughout over 7 decades of his life, Chakava has been tenacious in his pursuit of literal ideas and ideals. The ideas of freedom, of nationalism, of patriotism, of Pan-Africanism, and of liberal humanity, just to mention a few. But he has also been more than that. He has been willing to let history judge him, either harshly or to absolve him altogether. Ultimately, history must be his final judge, and he will be judged according to the goals he set for himself and also for his beloved country, Kenya, and also for the continent of Africa. History will judge him fairly as a man who defined and kept the faith in his belief, contribution to educational and cultural literature, in personal and freedom of expression, in national independence, and in Pan-African unity. History will recall him as a relentless believer in literature. History will also absolve him as a true Kenyan patriot. And we who knew him over the decades shall recall with admiration his tenacity, relentlessness, his will to the truth, to fair play, to literature. We shall remain ever beholden to this faith in publishing. Among the great number of educational and cultural books he published, he is credited for giving an African perspective to the school books for primary and tertiary education, which had previously been greatly influenced by the Western culture. Among his greatest achievements was presiding over the acquisition of the British multinational Heinemann, that is East Africa in bracket, and changing its name to East African Publishers. We are all sojourners. Our friend Chakava takes one final journey beyond the skies. For the omens are as earnest. From him we come, and to him we return. May Henry now graciously join his friends who went before him in the pantheon of our African ancestors. Signed, Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, Governor of the County of Kisumu. Your Excellency, allow me just to address myself to 2 issues now that we are here. One is to thank you for the olive branch that your government has issued to the doctors of our beloved country, Kenya. I hope that they get to sit on the table. But my ask of you, Your Excellency, is that please listen to the doctors, the young doctors of our beloved country, Kenya. We know that health is devolved, but the training component remains with the national government. The government gets to, license the medical schools. They also get to admit the students and to pay, for their training. Really, we should have thought about their internship, because that marks the end of their training. Without internship, they cannot be licensed to practice. Now, when we allow them to go for internship, they can then be licensed, and these guys can work anywhere in the world. And the private sector, I think, is also really waiting to receive them. But in conclusion, Your Excellency, I know that you have worked very closely with Raila Amolo Odinga in the past and probably in the future. Baba has a lot of friends and supporters all over this country. We want you to know that we take note of the steps that you've taken to galvanize support so that he can be elected the chair of the African Union Commission. Baba was also a very good friend of this family. For those of you who have gone through that nice publication in terms of his ideology, can already see that. And I know he would have loved himself to be here by his side during this final journey that he takes. And I know that he stood by Baba's ideals. And so on behalf of Jacom, on behalf of Baba, family of Dr. Henry Chakava, please know that he has you in his heart during this difficult period. And now on behalf of Governor Nyong'o, I know we've talked about the church that we must complete as one of the legacy projects of the late Dr. Henry Chakava, and I will, with my colleagues, be handing over a token to Mama so that that can be, part and parcel of the many initiatives to ensure that that church is complete. May the soul of Dr. Henry Chakava rest in eternal peace.
Now I want to take this opportunity to invite our Prime Cabinet Secretary to be able to come and give his condolences. Karibu sana.
It's okay, please be seated. Mama Rosalind na familia yako yote, jamii ya ndugu Henry Chakava, marafiki, watu wote wa ukoo, majirani, wale wametoka ng'ambo na mbali, wote ambao ni marafiki wa familia ya Henry Chakava. Mwanzo kabisa nataka nichukue dakika ya kwanza kutoa rambirambi zangu, za mke wangu Tesi, za familia ya Mudavadi yote, kwako na watoto wako na jamii nzima kwa kupoteza mpendwa Henry Chakava. Kwa viongozi wenzangu ambao wako hapa pia nawatambua. Wakuu wa kanisa tunawatambua. Na najua tumechukua muda mrefu, lakini huyu mwenzetu alikuwa mzito. Mzito kwa urafiki, mzito kwa urafiki, mzito kwa utaalamu wake, na mzito kwa kazi yake. Kwa hivyo saa zingine mazishi kama hayo yanakuwa mazito kwa kila mtu. Lakini tunaomba radhi, tutafupisha sasa ili tumalize. Sitaki kurudia kwa yale yote ambayo amesema, kwa sababu nitakuwa nikirudia sana. Wengi wameeleza vizuri hata kuniliko. Mimi nataka tu niungane na hawa wote kusema kwamba we have lost a great man, a great son of Kenya, a great son of Africa. May his soul rest in eternal peace. And may God's grace dwell in his home so that his children, his wife, his grandchildren, and all his relatives can also have a moment of peace as he rests with God. I will just now clarify one or two things, mambo mawili matatu tu, alafu niwe nimemaliza. Kwanza, nataka niseme I fully agree that Henry Chakava deserves his space in the Hall of Fame. And the message that was, proposition that was put forward by his team is valid, and I will carry it forward so that it can receive due consideration in laying the legacy and the foundation of our future. So I've taken that message very, very well. I also want to confirm that I will enjoin myself with what was proposed even for the cultural center or memorial center bearing Henry's footprint. In fact, when a governor, there is land. Henry Chakava was one of the founders of the cultural festival. The county government has given the cultural festival almost 5-6 acres at Mbale. Instead of going to evict people, why don't you make the whole part of the whole complex also integrate the center that we are talking about that would bear Henry Chakava's title? That will speed up the process. It will save the county government aspects of compensating, na tuendelee mbele, and we move forward. So this is something we can all work together on. I want to also assure you, now from a different angle, that we fully support devolution. I want to assure my brother Osotsi, and I'm happy we are talking the way we are talking. I want to assure him that we are fully committed to devolution. That is the jewel in the constitutional crown of 2010, which Amos Wako steered so well. Devolution is the most innovative, the most pragmatic aspect of that constitution. And we shall defend it. There may be teething problems from time to time, but I want to assure you that we are not going to deviate from the principles and the constitutional provisions of devolution. In fact, the Kenya Kwanza government has been very, very supportive. If the Senate was to follow carefully and the governors were to speak, and they have spoken to this, a lot of the arrears of resources that were pending for years that were due to the county governments, the Kenya Kwanza government was able to make good and pass over the resources, financial resources, required to implement devolution programs. And we are not going to stop. We shall continue. So rest assured, my brother, hiyo itaendelea. Let me speak to one issue because we may be taking it lightly. What should drive us, especially as a nation, is our national interest. Dr. Henry Chakava had a footprint in publishing, and he had friends beyond our borders. He had a calling, and he focused on what it was. To be able to get Africa speak and tell its story
in different ways and different means, but for longevity and for many people to understand. Because if you do not tell your story, nobody will tell it for you. So he contributed to making sure that Africa can tell its story. This issue about the African Union chairmanship, my brothers and sisters, let's take it seriously. Let's take it very seriously. It is not about getting Raila Odinga a job. Please, you're missing the point. What we should ask ourselves is this: is it in our interest as a nation to offer leadership like other African countries have offered to the African Union, to the continent? Is it our national interest? Is it? And I'm asking, if it is in our national interest, then we bank that and we realize it is in our national interest to provide leadership to the African Union on behalf of Kenya and on behalf of the East African region and on behalf of the continent. The second thing is this: a government is the member of the union, not an individual. So the membership of the African Union is about states. All the 55 states in Africa are the ones that constitute the African Union. So it is not about Musalia, it is not about anybody. It is now about Africa, and in our context, it's about Kenya. So the third question that we ask, then, does Raila fit the bill? If you have been given an opportunity as a region, as a nation, does he fit the bill? So, if you are to ask me, my position is, yes, he does. He has strong Pan-African credentials. As I said somewhere else before, Raila has seen both hot and cold. Raila has also shown the capacity to reconcile. He has a wealth of experience that can be of value to the African Union, where you see a lot of conflict, left, right, and center. So, if that is the case, then you must ask yourself, is it then in our national interest to front the name of Raila? Because it could have been anybody else. But is it in our national interest? If it is, then let us stop making this thing look like it's a reward system. Because it's not about rewarding. It's about offering distinguished service to the African Union, where there are so many challenges relating to conflict. By the way, my brothers and sisters, conflicts in Africa have now caused 98 million children to be out of school. As we speak, 98 million children are out of school. So we need all the hands on the deck. We need experience. We need good people so that they can help in creating proper dialogue, in creating proper interconnectivity with the various heads of state, with the various countries, with the various factions, so that we can reconcile our country. And therefore, I want to repeat, in honor of Chakava and all the other people that are here, please let us take this issue of the African Union chairmanship more seriously than we are taking it. It is in our national interest. That is my plea to you, and I hope what I have said will resonate with all reasonable men and women of this country, so that we can focus and get our act together. Communication has brought in different things nowadays. What we are speaking here, maybe somebody in Morocco is already listening. What we are saying here, maybe our neighbor in West Africa is at it, and another one in South Africa is. So be careful, because what you say may undermine our national interest. Pana ropoka tu, kila pahali, as if it's a village agenda. This is a matter of national interest. So, I rest my case. May our good brother Henry Chakava's soul rest in eternal peace. May the family also get comfort in what they do. And may we all work as a country, as a united people. Because in all this that I have said, I will eventually get some strict instructions, which I have already got anyway, that at the end of the day, the head of state is William Samoei Ruto. They have had their stiff competition with Raila in matters local politics or national politics. But on matters of national interest, they have seen it fit to pull together, to work together, so that we present a united front in the context of our national interests. So, ladies and gentlemen, the AU chairmanship is serious business. God bless you all. Muende nyumbani vizuri. Asante.
Asante sana. Prime Cabinet Secretary anapoketi kwa heshima. Tubigie Bwana Yesu makofi mazito kwa viongozi wetu wa serikali kuwa pamoja nasi. Ningependa tutulie kwa sababu tunaelekea kumaliza. Tutulie kwa muda mfupi ili tumalize ibada ya daktari kwa njia ambayo ni amani na itakuwa vizuri sana. Kabla sija mleta Mr. Vodoti kutupa vote of thanks kwa ajili ya matanga haya tunapokamilisha, ninaomba ya kwamba kila mmoja wetu kule nyumbani kwa daktari space nafasi ni kidogo, na ninaomba ya kwamba hata ukibaki hapa utatuona tu tukiwa live kwa mambo ya habari kule nyumbani. So ukiwa na nafasi unaweza kubaki hapa ili apart from kwenda nyumbani, kwa sababu nafasi ni kidogo, unaweza tu kubaki hapa pia utuone tukiwa live na itakuwa vizuri sana. Asanteni sana. Nimlete Daktari Vodoti na niombe viongozi wa serikali ambao wameingia. Tulikuwa tumemaliza kipindi cha faraja sadaka. Ukiwa umetembea na faraja yako, please ninaomba kwa heshima faraji jamii. Tuna chombo cha sadaka mahali hapa, itakuwa jambo la maana sana. Asante, asante. Pia tuna viongozi wetu ambao wamekuja kwa matanga haya. Ninaomba ya kwamba tusiende kwa sababu tuna chakula hapa kwa kanisa Friends Church hapo kwa hiyo meeting. Please ninaomba ya kwamba please tusiende ili tupokee lunch kupitia kwa heshima ya Daktari Chakava. So viongozi ambao walikuja nyuma, ninaomba mkiwa na faraja zenyu mtalipa mahali hapa. Karibu sana Mr. Bodoti.